So I've met quite a few women who were very unsatisfied with the doula that they chose for their birth, right? For many reasons, they had complaints. But I just want to give some tips on the questions you should be asking when you are interviewing and looking to hire a doula. Number one is experience, right? How long have you been a doula? And if you haven't been a doula for a long time, in the amount of time that you have been a doula, how have you shown up in your community, right? Can I speak with some of your previous clients to hear some testimonials, right? To see if they were satisfied with their birth outcome or satisfied with the service that you provided, right? How many births, how long have you been a birth worker, and really leaning into those testimonials, right? And the experience of the previous clients. Number two, I would say is, what do you offer as a doula, right? Many birth workers, we offer many different things. We all have different skill sets and gifts, right? How is that doula in particular going to show up for you in your birth and in your pregnancy, right? What does the prenatals look like? What does the education that you'll be getting look like on each prenatal? Even the postpartum care, like what does that look like when she shows up for you? Like, so you really get a good feel and idea of how she, in particular, her uniqueness, how she's going to bring that to the table as a doula to show up for you, because all doulas are not the same, honey. Number three is what's her love language, right? One of the complaints I did get was women feeling like their doula did not emotionally connect with them, right? And you can have a doula that it only gives you 3 prenatals, and when she shows up, honey, she still shows up and pours into you. So you want to ask your doula's love language. If you are somebody who needs a lot of emotional reassurance, if you're someone who needs somebody hands-on, it might not be the best to get somebody who is awkward in emotional situations or who is emotionally detached, right? But that doula could be the doula for somebody else, right? So this is not saying that it's not a space for that type of doula, but, hearing women say they didn't have a doula to nurture them and to rub on them, or they didn't have a doula to pour words of affirmations into them or hug them or make them feel loved and cared for, it's just like, that's not everybody's love language. So you really need to fill out the type of doula that you'll be hiring. Another one is, and this is a big one, what is your philosophy around pregnancy and birth, right? And based on that answer, it will give you a good idea if that doula and her philosophies around birth and how birth should be aligns with yours, right? Even if you feel like you don't know much, you should come in already have a good understanding of your mindset and your vision around birth, or how you want your birth to be anyway, right? You want to ask your doula, does she have community resources, right? And I know doulas move around like me. I'm very nomadic. So even if she doesn't have community resources, you need to make sure that she has access, or she's willing to get access to community resources. So when you do need referrals to different providers or help with pediatricians, et cetera, she will go above and beyond to make sure that she is getting you the right resources for you, and you're not just left in the cold having to choose whatever provider you can find by yourself, right? Because doulas do have a lot of connects, even if it is to other birth workers in the community who may know more or may have more resources that they can pass along to another community doula. That's a good start of questions that if I was hiring a doula for my birth, I would personally ask, right? And of course, you always want to fill out the energy. Energy is trumps over words. I feel like most of my clients, they knew off the energy and just me being myself. I don't really hold my interviews as like stiff and like I'm in a job interview. Like, no, it's a conversation. It's a flow, right? I'm seeing if she is a good fit for me, and she is seeing if I'm a good fit for her. And I just be myself. And that's for doulas as well, right? A lot of doulas get nervous. A lot of doulas get anxious when it comes to interviews. And I know like doulas want to be not overbooked, but doulas want to be booked, right? So a lot of times you'll try to overdo it, Or you'll take a client that you know daggone well you shouldn't have been taking because you knew that client did not align with you, right? So really be intentional about who you are bringing in your soul tribe. And I say this all the time. Whoever you choose to service is a part of your tribe. That ancestral spirit, the spirit of that spirit baby, has chosen you to be a part of that experience, right? So you want to make sure the energy flows. I personally have never had a client that I have had a bad experience with because I feel like the energy automatically connects, right? And I respect that and I honor that. Now, have I had interviews with clients who did not hire me? Absolutely, right? Not many though, I'm going to be honest, but I honored that as well. I'm not mad. And I always say, if you have questions, hey, you can still hit me up, right? Or if you need other doulas and you're still serious about getting a doula, I'll send some other people your way that may be a better fit for you. But I do not force anything. I don't do it, and I don't recommend any other doula do it just to be booked and just to pay the bills. And I get it, but it's a no, right? Because it could really, really end bad. So yeah, that's just some of my tips and tricks. And if you'd like to hear more as it comes to tips on how to find a doula, etc., I will be doing more videos. Peace and love. For more tips surrounding birth and pregnancy, visit my website at www.AmaGiAscend.com to download my ebook, Mystic Mama, A Holistic Guide to a Healthy Pregnancy and Birth.